strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. When the solution is simple, God is answering. Life is a preparation for the future, and the best preparation for the future is to live as if there were none. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Weak people revenge. Strong people forgive. Intelligent people ignore. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. We all know that light travels faster than sound. That's why certain people appear bright until you hear them speak. Small is the number of people who see with their eyes and think with their minds. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. The tragedy of life is what dies inside a man while he lives. There comes a time when the mind takes a higher plane of knowledge, but can never prove how it got there. Intelligence is not the ability to store information, but to know where to find it. The only real valuable thing is intuition. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. A happy man is too satisfied with the present to dwell too much on the future. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. The distinction between the past, present and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Time is an illusion. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. If A is success in life, then A equals X plus Y plus Z. Work is X, Y is play, and Z is keeping your mouth shut. The only source of knowledge is experience. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. You never fail until you stop trying. Men should continue to fight, but they should fight for things worthwhile, not for imaginary geographical lines, racial prejudices and private greed draped in the colors of patriotism. Their arms should be weapons of the spirit, not shrapnel and tanks. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. Only those who attempt the absurd can achieve the impossible. It is not the years in your life that count, it is the life in your years. Information is not knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. Once you stop learning, you start dying. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. Any fool can know. The point is to understand. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. I believe in standardizing automobiles. I do not believe in standardizing human beings. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. The true value of a human being can be found in the degree to which he has attained liberation from the self. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. Setting an example is not the main means of influencing others. It is the only means. Memory is deceptive because it is colored by today's events. Black holes are where God divided by zero. The human spirit must prevail over technology. I love to travel, but I hate to arrive. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. You ask me if I keep a notebook to record my great ideas. I've only ever had one. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks should be. Two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe.